Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. Boy, there's nothing like watching me scramble looking for my notes 2 seconds before airtime, but you know, hey, it's been that kind of day for me, so why shouldn't that happen at the studio when I'm about to go on the air, right? Anyway, so yeah, it's been a day, and you know, the saga continues of me not having a vehicle and having to rely on people for rides, and it's been crazy, and I can't thank everyone enough who has chipped in and pitched in to help me get to and from, and you know, everybody's support in trying to find a new vehicle. I can tell you it's not easy to car shop, especially when you're looking at used cars, so I've pretty much had it up to here. And if I had a magic wand, I would wave it and just be done with this whole situation. Anyway, that leads me to a big thank you to the self-proclaimed transportation team from last weekend. My friend Damon came down from Vermont and made sure that I got to Bow Wow Bark in the Park, which was a fabulous event. It was held in Rockwell Park, and I talked about it a lot beforehand. Alexandria does just an amazing job putting that event together, and this year it was bigger than ever. There were more vendors, there were so many dogs, there were so many cool moments there. You know, it was really nice to be around so many like-minded people. You know, I say that all the time about these events. There's just not enough I can say about having the experience, and these last 2 events that I've done, the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty and the Bow Wow Bark in the Park, I actually had, you know, a table or a tent or whatever, my first experiences with that, and you know, it's fun. I think that I waited too long to do that, and I'm probably going to do it more in the future, because it gets me out there and it gets me to meet, you know, all kinds of people who either know me or never heard of the show, and I could tell them about it. So yeah, I guess that's I do that anyway at the events, but it's different to have, you know, your own setup and your own table. So let's look at some of the pictures from Bow Wow. We had some great group shots. This was with Bikers Against Animal Cruelty and Little Oliver Foundation, and we had Sherry from For the Love of Jack, Hudson the Railroad Puppy, Juno. Hey, no, we're not scrolling. I'm still talking. It's a learning curve. It's all good. We've got Juno, Hudson the Railroad Puppy, and me, who had to get helped up in the end. That was loads of fun, and I'm not sure who a couple of those ladies are, but glad that they were in the picture. Now we can go to the other picture. This was some more group love with Desmond's Army, who we know I love to the moon and back. We've got Tom Page in the background. We've got Juno and Jake and Serena and Deb, and Alexandria popped in for the picture. Just a really nice event. Sherry's there as well. We've got Doreen in the middle, and there was another volunteer on the side. There's a couple more people that kind of look like they're cut out of the picture, but we've got a lot of really nice people all together just trying to treasure the moment. Next picture. Here we had the costume contest, and that was a lot of fun. Deb and Sherry and Juno and Jake and myself were judges again this year, and boy, the difference between last year and this year, there were so many more people in the contest, and it was so much fun to be the judges. It was hard to pick. There was a talent show, and then there was the costume contest in, you know, in staggered time slots, and you know, just so much fun. We missed Melanie. Oh God, Melanie, no, Monique, because I'm bad like that. We missed Monique, who was a judge with us last year, but we did have her there in spirit this year. One of, I think, the highlights of the costume contest was, you can't see in this picture, but there was a little dog in one of those lobster outfits, and before she came up to, you know, we had them parade around that little gazebo there. Before she came up, she stopped at the judges' table, and she was holding what looked like a headband and a hard roll. And basically, she said that the dog was supposed to have been a lobster roll, but the roll thawed and the competition ate the roll. So another big dog came by and ate the roll off the poor dog's head. So it was kind of funny, and we enjoyed that very much. Poor little dog, but I think, you know, she was a winner anyway. And it was a lot of fun. Next picture. There we are at the judges table. We had little gift bags for everybody who participated, which was a lot of fun to put those together and hand those out. And hopefully everybody enjoyed all the little goodies that were in there. Next up, that was my table. Just, you know, under the tent, pretty much the same way I set it up at the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty event. And, you know, it was a great thing. We figured it out and we got it done. And like I said, I kind of like it, so I may do it some more. Next picture. There we are at the judges table again. We've got Alexandria in that photo. And as I said, we had Monique in there in spirit. That's a picture of Monique on Sherry's phone that she's holding up. So we did have her there with us in spirit. We got anything else for that? Okay, so I'll take the camera back, and you know, like I said, it was just really a lot of fun and just a huge, huge event. There were so many people who had so many nice things to say. I absolutely can't wait for it next year. We're going to, you know, be bigger and better than ever, and you know, I'm going to look forward to judging again. And it's so much fun to be up close and see all these dogs, you know, doing their best either in the talent show or the costume contest. And, you know, it's fun. And again, thank you to Buford, or Damon as he's known, for making sure I got there. Poor guy, you know, he's a truck driver. He drove his truck all day and then drove half the night to make sure he got down here so that I'd be there in time in the morning. And, you know, I really appreciate stuff like that. He rolled me around for all my errands for the weekend and made sure that I was all set before he headed back. So little things, big things, they all mean a lot to me. And, you know, he helped set up, he helped break down, and so did Zach. Zach was along, and hi! We had a lot of fun. Everybody loves Zach's drawing. You know, he does really wonderful artwork. And he sits there and doodles, and he gets more attention just sitting there minding his own business doodling. It's really cool. We should show some of your pictures one of these days, Zach. You will supply? Okay. That's fair. Just because he's so talented. But anyway, I'm thinking that is all we've got for Bow Wow Bark in the Park. And I've got a couple of different directions I can go here. I'm going to talk about a dog that was, you know, I saw her weeks ago, and somebody brought her to my attention 3 weeks ago at the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty rally, and it looks like she's still in need. We've got Grandma at the New Haven Animal Shelter. Look at this sweet little piggy face. I am in love. Again, at the New Haven Animal Shelter, she arrived starved and neglected. Now she's healthy and happy, but she's really starting to have a hard time with shelter life, and she desperately needs out. You know, these older dogs, I think she's about 12, these older dogs can only take it for so long. You know, they really don't belong in a shelter. They belong crashed out on somebody's couch, happy and loved, and just, you know, being spoiled, because who knows what they went through to end up in a shelter, to end up being, you know, starved and in bad shape. It's just not, no dog deserves it, but I have such a soft spot for the seniors, and it kills me. But anyway, she loves people. She's been okay with dogs outside of the shelter. I think she's, you know, probably a little defensive in the shelter. But that's what happens a lot of times, because it's just the nature of the beast. You know, they're in such a confined area, and, you know, they just not settled, and it's not home. So they may or may not be okay with other animals in the shelter, but then you get them out and they're fine. Grandma gets little spa days and road trips, and she gets to go out for, the afternoon just to get her out of the shelter and try to lift her spirits. And when she's out, she's all right with other dogs. Not that they really have, I think, by their rules, they can't really interact, but she's a different dog when she's out of the shelter, and that's what it boils down to. A lot of these dogs really are. They're completely different when they get into a situation where they're not so stressed out. The kennel life, I always say it, is so very stressful for these animals, and the quicker they can get adopted, the better off they are all the way around. So anyway, the New Haven Animal Shelter is looking for a rescue to take her and get her into a foster home, or someone to adopt her and love her forever. So if you are interested in Grandma, you can call 203-946-8110. Once again, that's 203-946-8110. And I think that I'm going to try to reach out to the nice lady who stopped by my table with her flyer and see what more we can do to try to help her on her way. If she were guaranteed better with other dogs, I could be tempted, but it's a very tough call, for me. I would take them all. There are so many dogs I would take and just be like, okay, here you are, you're home. But I can't, because that's not the smart thing to do. Anyway, there's another dog at the New Haven Animal Shelter that I'll bring to your attention, and that is Micah. Micah is a 5-year-old sweetheart. She's lovable, she's well behaved, she walks well on a leash. They'd like her to go to a home if there's kids over 14. And, again, I've said it before, and I always feel compelled to explain it. A lot of times a dog is big and strong, and they feel that they don't want to set the dog up to fail by knocking over a little one, or, playing a little rough, or, having the kids running around, and, that can stress a dog out too. So if you have an older, more dog-savvy kid, then it just makes it better, especially, like I said, the factor of, they could get knocked over and get hurt. And nobody wants that. Again, nobody wants to set a dog up to fail if they're trying to adopt out responsibly. So if you are interested in Micah, you can call 203-946-8110. And I will take the camera back, and we're going to talk about some upcoming events, because this is what I call event season, and there are so many good ones coming up. And the first one is Pet Rock, which is tomorrow, and we have the poster, I believe, for Pet Rock we can put up. There we go. Yes, this is tomorrow, and it is noon to 5, and it's going to be at Wyman Gordon, and I don't know what that is, but that's where it is, at 244 Worcester Street in North Grafton, Mass. Juno and Jake will be there, Sweet Pea will be there, Hudson the Railroad Puppy, the Little Oliver Foundation. There we go. It's like a who's who of Pound Posse Presents at a lot of these events, which I like too. There's going to be live music and vendors, rescues, an adoptable pet parade, games, contests, and a vegetarian food court. Always got to love when these events try to take that higher road, and you're going to get hungry, you're going to want to eat something, you're going to try something vegetarian because that's what's there. So that's really cool to me. And Pet Rock Festival, I've gone the last couple of years, a couple or three, and it's a really good time. And you get to see all, again, the people that you love to hang out with, and a lot of these very famous celebra dogs, as I call them. And if you can make it, it's well worth it. I think I MapQuested it from around here. It's about an hour and a half away, so it's not terrible. People need to be not afraid to just get up and go out and do things. And so that's what tomorrow's going to bring, is the Pet Rock Festival. Next up, this is really going to be an amazing thing. There's a pet preparedness evening, and if we could get that poster up, My good friend John from Ears is hosting this. It's going to be on Wednesday, September 13th from 6 until 8, and it's going to be at the Norwalk Fire Headquarters at 121 Connecticut Avenue in Norwalk, which I can tell you is right off of I-95. That's, you know, the Post Road, Route 1, whatever you want to call it. So it's very easy to get to if you are interested in going. They will be providing resources to help be ready for emergencies and disasters which could impact pets. They will include info on medical issues, house fires, accidents, and natural disasters. There's going to be info tables, demos, and a multimedia presentation. It's free and it's open to everyone. So, you know, if you're interested in this, if you're local, if you're not local, if you can get there in time, it's probably going to be a very fascinating evening because, you know, especially with everything that's going on now, with all these hurricanes and, you know, the fires and all these things that can happen, you can't be too prepared. I know John is very knowledgeable. He was, you know, on the show recently, and his show was my rerun the last couple times that I missed. And, you know, he's a wealth of information. He's a fabulous guy. He puts his heart and soul into all of this, and you'll certainly come away with knowing a lot more than you did going into it. Again, you never can be too prepared. You think it's not going to happen to you. You think you're going to be okay, and then, you know, something happens, and it is you, and you really should be, you should be one up on whatever can happen. And I'm hoping, I've reached out to John, and we're kind of back and forth. I'm hoping to get one of these up around here because, you know, I think that everybody in the state should get a chance to go. Whether you go or not is up to you, but I think that, you know, the chance should be presented. And, you know, in this area, I told them, you know, I'm definitely 100% all about helping in any way I can. All right, so the next event that's coming up on the 17th is Putting on the Dog. And this is Adopt a Dog in Greenwich. And this is the 30th anniversary Putting on the Dog. And this has traditionally been a really fun event as well. You know, when I lived in Stamford more than 15 years ago is when I started going to this. So I guess, you know, I was in on this a long time ago. It's held at the Roger Sherman Baldwin Park, which is beautiful because it's right on the water. You know, you can hang out and just sort of soak up that ambiance, which I'm going to tell you I miss. Again, it's September 17th, and it's from 10 a.m. to 4:30. It's Roger Sherman Baldwin Park, which is exit 3 off of I-95, and you follow the signs. There's going to be music, vendors, demonstrations, competitions, activities. There's always a lot of rescues, you know, at these events, you know, giving out information, you know, a lot of adoptable animals attend. There's definitely something for everyone in the family, and very much worth a day trip. You know, it's like an hour away, big deal. Go and have some fun, and, you know, check out some adoptables maybe. They have at Adopt a Dog, they have them walking around all day, and, you know, it's pretty cool. You get to meet them. So that one is September 17th. We've also got coming up, and I'll take the camera back for a hot moment, the Unionville Festival Pet Adoption Fair. I guess that, you know, Unionville has, you know, an annual fair, and a young lady who stopped by my table at Bow Wow Bark in the Park explained that this year they want to do something more community-based, and they're actually inviting, you know, rescues and et cetera, to come and be part of it and have a pet adoption event as part of this fair, which is really cool. And that's going to be Sunday, September 24th from noon until 4:30. And it's at 173 School Street in Unionville, Connecticut. Again, not very far away. You know, something to do on a Sunday afternoon. There's going to be a DJ, live music, entertainment, food and beverages. There'll be pumpkin decorating because, you know, that catches my attention. It's going to be rain or shine. And if you want more information about that, you can go to uviact.org. Once again, uviact.org. And I'm going to try to get a lot of these events posted on my Pound Posse Press website, but I do have them all shared on Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. So, you know, if you're looking for the information, if you're like, oh wait, what did she say? You need to see it in print rather than have me tell you about it. By all means, go there and, you know, you can click on the event or the link or whatever I've got. Last event now, this one's a little bit out there, but by the same token, it's not that far away. Cane's Crusade, which is another one of those organizations that I definitely love, is having their annual Cane-toberfest, and that is going to be Saturday, October 7th from 12 until 5, and that's going to be at the Morgan Road Pavilion, 429 Morgan Road, I know that's a shock, in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And again, a little bit of a ride, but who cares? They're going to have a beer garden, food trucks, vendors, contests, kids' activities, and a whole bunch more. Again, a great way to go and hang out and, you know, just meet all these people who you see on Facebook and, you know, check out the organizations and do a little elbow rubbing, and it's a great time. And if you want to find out more, you can go to canetoberfest.com. That's K-A-N-E Toberfest.com. So now I think I am just going to mention something that has come to my attention, and it's pretty ugly, and really we need to do something about it. For the last year or so, the Hartford Animal Control has been out of control. They don't post their dogs, they don't promote their dogs. However, they kill their dogs. They never get the fair chance to get a home, to be reunited with their owners. I was made aware last weekend that they've killed 30 dogs. And killing 30 dogs is unacceptable, especially when you consider the previous track record was that there were no dogs killed. So something is broken here, and it really needs to be fixed. I looked at their Facebook page today, and there wasn't a single dog posted. It looked to me like they wiped everything clean. There was a dog that was in danger for today that I saw posted, and I had shared him, and now that link is down. And I'm only praying that that beautiful dog, whose eyes bore right through my very soul, got out of there today. There's definitely something that needs to be done. And personally, I'm not sure what the correct plan of attack would be, but I think that calls to those in charge would be a good start. You know, I challenged something on their Facebook page, and, you know, hey, I didn't get banned yet, but it's all gone. Their page has no posts, and I don't understand it. Pretty much what's being posted now and what's being put out there is that if you are in Hartford and you've lost a dog, you might as well call the vet that does this work, because it's probably there getting killed while you're looking for it. So it's a big problem. There is absolutely no reason for that many dogs to not stand a chance. And, you know, legally, they are supposed to advertise them for 7 days before they're available. Hartford's had their own different groove there where, you know, the 10th day that they're there, they're, you know, adopted or they're killed. But, you know, they never used to have that many losses, and it's just completely unacceptable. So if you're watching this and you want to band together and try to do something about it, I'm all for trying to get a movement together to try to do something. And I spoke to Tom Page about it, and I know that he is outraged as well. So maybe we can all join forces and try to get some kind of momentum here. So if you are interested in trying to do something about the state of affairs in Hartford, by all means, please feel free to email me at pawprints713@AOL.com. That's pawprints, PAWPRINTS 713@AOL.com, and put Hartford in the subject line so I know that it's not just spam. But I'm thinking it's definitely time to get something changed there, because this can't go on. It's atrocious, and there are probably very illegal factors to it, that people just don't have access to the dogs and they never stand a chance. How do people even get reunited with a dog if they're just going to sweep them under the carpet like that? So that's my rant for tonight, and it's an end of the show rant, so I don't know if that's any better than a beginning of the show rant, but it's my rant. Anyway, how are we doing with time? 1 minute. Let's take another quick look at Grandma and her little piggy face, and I just want to smooch her personally. I love her little bat ears. And Micah is also looking for a home at the New Haven Animal Shelter. So, if you're interested, if you're not interested in either one of them, there's plenty of other dogs. So, folks, let's get some of these dogs homes, because it's just the thing to do. Guessing that it's about that time. So I'm going to say peace, love, and dogs. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and good night, everyone.